that process server.
No, yeah, we watched, I came down to see if you were there. We watched that. It was textbook.
Yeah.
We were more than happy with that.
And you know what? He calls me up and says, I don't know why.
We're live.
Great.
We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Calling to order the
What is it?
Thursday, December 17th, 2020 Records Commission meeting. Let's take a roll. Am I doing that?
Okay,
I can do
members
it.
of the commission. Chief Fiscal Officer, here. Chief Legal Officer,
Here,
Chairperson, Mr. Mayor.
Here.
We do not have a secretary or a resident appointee at this time, and Secretary Therapy here. Filling in.
Thank you. All right, did everybody have a chance to look at the meeting minutes from July 20th, 2020? Any comments, corrections, objections to those minutes? Those minutes are approved. All right, then moving on now to the approval of the RC2s. Well, there is the RC1 for income tax first up.
So an RC1 is a one-time disposal of records that we no longer create. The treasurer's office is still sort of overseeing the income tax records that do still exist. And this was provided by them as one-time obsolete records. The Records Commission is required to do it before I can submit it to Ohio Historical Society and the county auditor. Yeah,
motion to approve?
second.
Thank you. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed say no. All right, RC1 income tax is approved. RC2 all city general.
So there's a lot of changes on this. This is the all city general schedule. These records are typically applicable to all departments within the city. A lot of these records have been sitting on here and they came from a recommended Word document back from 2000 from the Ohio Historical Society. And they've just kind of been sitting on here, but it's not very specific. So things like the first thing that I removed, administrative files. You know, the common question I always get is, what does that mean? So unless it could be really specific or specific to the individual department schedule, I took it off. So the first one I took off was administrative files. Would you like me to go through this line by line, or do you have specific questions?
I don't have any specific questions.
Several. I made changes to things that are no longer paper, and now we only keep them electronic. Appropriation preparation documents, you know, those aren't records in the individual departments. Those are the auditor's records that is on the auditor's schedule. Civil litigation files, these are not files that all departments have. Those would be legal files on the law department schedule. Complaints.
Gotcha. So these are just files that are in a general thing, but they're also being held in specific departments. So we're getting
Right.
rid of the general.
Right.
Okay,
Well, getting rid of things that are not common to all departments.
Okay.
So,
perfect.
you know, my department wouldn't have the civil litigation file, that would be your department.
Okay.
Are there any specific questions on this?
No.
Is there a motion
Okay with it?
to?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion was made and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
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 Opposed say no. Motion is approved.
The next RC2 changes are Board of Zoning and Building Appeals. That was my office. We just kind of reorganized the schedule to reflect how we file. So if we don't have paper anymore, we reflected that it's electronic. We've made the electronic copy permanent on agendas And case files, we've condensed everything that's in the case file rather than breaking it out. Are there any specific questions on that retention schedule?
No.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes, those opposed say no. RC2 PZA is approved.
Okay, the same thing, keeping suit with the next few that my office oversees. Civil service, we went through and spelled our schedule out to match how we keep our records, eliminated paper, kept longer retention periods on electronic, reorganized the record detail to state what's in the case file. So before, things that were in the case file were spread out as their own record. Excuse me, now we've just created case file and everything that's in the case file. So disposal is a lot easier.
Is that gonna cause a problem with keeping certain things confidential?
No, no, this is, if you're speaking in terms of like a personnel case file,
Yeah, scoring,
when
Things like
somebody
that.
makes a public record request for something specific,
still
there are
redacted.
certain things that would be redacted. Are there any specific questions?
Nope. A motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
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 Those opposed say no. That has been approved as well.
Okay, RC2 clerk of council, cleaned up things that we don't keep paper, clarified electronic, reorganized the schedule to how we file. Any specific comments or questions?
None?
None.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes, those opposed say no. Clerk of council's been approved. Parks and Recreation next.
Next is Parks and Recreation. You'll see in red on the back side of the schedule, they've added 2 additional records to their schedule per the director. Are there any comments or questions on that?
What are those?
So Rec Desk is the program they use for registration. He had indicated that it's a cloud-based program, and he spelled out what it included in the program: GL account codes, facility information, member information, fee structure, username, point of sale, and programs. His suggested retention: delete program info 2 years after the expiration of the program. Remaining info is permanent. So you're not taking out the person that registers, they're still in there, but anything related to the program is wiped out after 2 years.
Is this consistent with, I'm not certain that the expiration of the program will coincide with the CAFR, but we should keep it at least 2 to 3 years after the CAFR is completed for that year's programs.
The comprehensive financial report is at the end of the following year,
Yeah,
so you think 3 years would be safe?
Yep.
Okay. We could change that to 3 years.
Do we need a motion to amend?
If you're good with that change, let's go through the next one and then we can do a motion. And then invoices that he receives. His plan is scan the paper, get rid of the paper, and then keep it electronically for 2 years. This may be another one. Do you want this to read 3 years?
well, we keep the invoices.
He also keeps a copy
Yeah,
too.
so I don't care about that one. That doesn't affect us as much as the program one does.
Okay. Okay, then we just need a motion to accept it as amended.
Okay, motion to accept as amended?
Second?
All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes, those opposed say no. Great, that has been approved as amended. Planning Commission.
Okay, planning commission, similarly to civil service and board of zoning and clerk of council, went through, changed things that read paper that we don't keep as paper, reorganized the records on this RC2 to specifically show how we keep them in the office.
Motion to adopt?
Second?
All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes, those opposed say no. As well. Last one is the police department.
Next, the police chief indicated the changes on his records retention schedule highlighted in yellow for convenience. His goal is to take things that were once paper, be able to scan it, get rid of the paper, and then the retention lies in the electronic copy throughout the entire schedule.
Question, when does it get scanned? Is there a certain, like, do we keep it for a year and then scan it?
It depends, time allowing,
So
but
it depends on the file?
it does.
Okay,
In other words, case files, as far as, let's say, a criminal charge or a criminal case file, it's never been, well, I take that back. When we started New World, everything is being scanned into the system, but the paper copy is still being retained.
okay,
What's nice about New World, there's 3 different servers in 3 different locations. So if one server goes down, there's a backup server for New World. Where case management, we're never gonna have, I believe, we're never gonna have the situation where, let's say, one computer deletes all case files because it's backed up 3 times in Lorraine County.
motion to adopt?
Second?
All those in favor say yes. Yes. Those opposed say no. Adopted, approved, whole list. Is there any additional business to bring before this commission? All right, and this meeting is adjourned.
Press stop.
Okay.